Let's start this day like we did last week with gratitude. Things that we might have gratitude for. Sabrena, our songwriter, is back, been gone for a while. She's doing okay. Gloria, our bell ringer, is back. I didn't know if she could ring this morning or not, but she did, and she's been gone for a while. Sherry, our special music lady, is back. She's been gone for a while. Wayne's back in the saddle playing piano. And I'm back. I was a little brain dead last week. I didn't make any sense at all, but I'm back. There's so much to be thankful for. If you'll notice when you walked in, it smelled a little funny. We got primer going on, the scraped paint. We had a work party yesterday. 8, 9 guys showed up and started this big, huge project. I talked to another guy that was here this morning with David, our project manager, and he's going to restore some of the messed up wood things. This is the biggest restoration project this church has ever done, except when the bell tower almost fell off 25 years ago. And it did. It just went out like that. We crawled in there and jack it up. It was so much to be thankful for. And just stuff going on. And this, I'm very thankful for. All of you dug in and came up with enough money for us after 118 years of being a lawyer. And here we have it from the IRS, our letter of determination. We are officially an updated 501c3 nonprofit church corporation after 100 years. And that lets us take advantage of so many programs and things that we can engage in and receive donations in certain fashion that just being a tax-free church didn't qualify us for. We were never illegal, except for 50 years. This might be a cute little story. In 1907, when we were incorporated as a tax-free church, those corporations at that time were good for 50 years. So it came to an end, a sunset, in 1957. I'm sure one of the due diligent people on the board received a letter to the fact, but nobody seemed to do anything to it until we happened to notice that in 2006, we were unincorporated. The feds wanted us to pay $20,000 in fees, and we got a lawyer again, actually a free lawyer, called and talked to the IRS and the state of California and said, we just had some not very bright people at this little church, and they begged forgiveness, and they amended our original corporate papers and got us back to 1957, reincorporated as a nonprofit church, tax-free church. And so that was a good thing too. So now we are as good as it's going to get, and our official name now is not Congregational Church of Cotati. We are now Church of the Oaks Cotati Incorporated. So isn't there so much to be grateful for? And that's just the public stuff. I invite each of you now to go into yourself and feel gratitude for something in your life. Just take a moment. Feel gratitude. I'm sure that Vivian's little sentence right now is just very fitting. I'm grateful for everything, and I have no complaints, and so it is.
Good morning. These past few days, I've driven down to a conference called the Pioneers Conference that some of you might know about. It's a conference where they bring together environmental activists, social justice activists, people from the government, people from nonprofits, and they confer about who's doing the good work, with a lot of emphasis on what can nature teach us about how to face the predicament that we're in. And on the way down, I had been starting to go into a very familiar dark vortex after listening to the news. Anyone ever have that experience? And something came to me as I was driving down, thinking about what in the world is going to happen. And what I was hearing and feeling, this thing that I have heard myself say to myself before, that she probably knows what she's doing, with reference to Earth, the great infinite spirit. She probably knows what she's doing. She's been here before. Earth has gone through 5 mass extinctions in the past 13.8 billion, or I'm sorry, 4 billion years, 4.5 billion years. And after each one, life arises anew. So even though it may personally feel scary for me, the larger picture is that she knows what she's doing. And out of that, I remembered hearing, I heard a version of, was it Corinthians, Faith, Hope, and Love? You know, and yeah, okay. I thought of that, and instead of hope, I started repeating a mantra of faith and humor. Because humor is a certain kind of hope. And when I went down to that conference, there's a large contingent of folks from indigenous America, tribes from all over the country. In fact, some tribes are represented across the world. And they have been through things far worse than the folks of my ancestry and many of our ancestries here. They have survived genocide. They have survived the taking away of their lands. And the thing that strikes me is that they are so full of faith and humor and love. They are still smiling and laughing. They still face really challenging things. But they, if we are so humble and lucky, could be our teachers. If we just simply learn to be quiet and not think we have the answers. So my new mantra is faith and humor and love. So I offer that to you this morning. Thank you.
Oh, David, thank you so much. And all that just ties in with everything today. Thank you. I might add, you were at Bioneers. You and I were both at Bioneers many, many years ago. It's the first time I heard Greg Saris from Grayton talk about the Native American we consciousness that they were holding as their banner as they started this project. That's the first time I ever heard it called we consciousness. And I've been trying to sell that ever since, just so. Pioneers is a great thing. Thank you, David. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. I'd like to talk about a couple little things before we ask Dick to come up and to give our announcements. And these kind of are part of announcements, but it's a little discussion I'd like to have. A couple years back, we started our first Friday of the month at 9:35 a.m., our Ring Out Danger, in commemoration of the school shooting at Wayne.
I know that.
Not Stony Brook. Sandy Hook, yes. For 5 minutes is how long the shooter. Well, at that time we had pretty good participation, 3 or 4 or 5. But it has gotten down to where there are very few participants. It got down to where it was like maybe Janet and Wayne and maybe 1 or 2 else, Joy or somebody. Well, we don't have many participants anymore for whatever reason. And I would like your opinion. Should we continue this? Or should we let it go for a while and kind of rethink it and regroup? Right now I can tell you how many people can be here this coming Friday. See, it's not many. So, what's that?
It's Easter weekend.
Yeah, it's just maybe we won't do it this coming Friday. There are a lot of things going on. And let's think about it over the next couple weeks, if we'd like to continue this or not. We have a banner we put out the week before. I don't think we've had much community participation. We've had it in the paper. We've had the second week we did it, there were a couple of people walking down the street that came and joined us. But if it becomes a burden, a real burden on 1 or 2 people, then maybe we shouldn't be doing it. It should be something we really choose to and take joy in participating in. Okay, that's that thing. The other thing I'd like to talk about is Bonnie's brother and Bill Eckert used to, Cecil Dixon and Bill Eckert used to take care of our yard and our lawns, and their wives would take care of the roses. And then they kind of stopped doing it. And then for a long time, it was Jean and then Janet and a couple other people. But now Jean moved to Pleasanton, and she's going to live there for the remainder of her days. And it's come down to Janet, and Randy has been helping out and stuff. But it's getting kind of hard. We started something, Kelly will remember, and Bonnie will maybe remember, about 23 years ago, we started a thing called Adopt a Plot. And we gave every little garden area and every grass patch a number. And people would just sign up and adopt a plot for 3 months or 6 months or a season. And that worked out good. And the ones that didn't get adopted, then we'd have a work day, and that's when that would happen, or the other people would just volunteer to do whatever's left. So coming out in the newsletter this week, you will see a thing that's got a little map about Adopt a Plot. That's just left over from the old days. We could do something different, recreate it, come up with a different idea. But there's something else. Let's talk about and think about it, and we'll talk about it next Sunday again and see if it's something we'd like to maybe sign up for. I got the sign-up sheets and all that. It might be a great way to address a need of taking care of what brought it to my mind. Brenda worked out there on the corner where the big cement is in the calla lilies. She said, I want to do that from now on. That was fun. She said, can I just adopt that piece of ground? And I said, oh, that reminded me of Adopt a Plot. So that's what this is all about. So be thinking about that. Dick, I think we're ready for the
I, like you, have overwhelmed of late with all the serious issues that are going on in the world around us. But I just want to remind you, and I don't think it's something that I have to remind you of, but just want to reiterate that a group of people such as us here today that prays together needs to play together. And I think that a lot of things that have been on my mind as of yesterday, Ron and I and Randy were down here and we put on a barbecue for the crew that was scraping and priming the church. And it was just the three of us, and it was, we're having a great time just providing sustenance for a crew of guys that were just putting out a lot of energy and sweat on our behalf and in our appreciation. And many things that have come to mind on the board of late are reintroducing some new things that bring us together in a, for lack of a better term, play. Cabaret's coming back on April 11th. Bluebirds will be here 5 to 7, and I have never attended a cabaret, and I've been told by many of you, Bluebirds are a great, great event. And it's just a time to have fun and be together. Next Sunday, and I'm going to ask Audrey if you would stand up. If you don't know who Audrey is, there she is. And she is right there. She's hesitant to stand up, and she's even more hesitant to speak, but I'm going to speak on her behalf. A number of weeks ago, I asked Audrey if she would help, and she took on the whole thing herself, to have an egg hunt next Sunday on Easter. Now, I want you to think hard about this, because she has put together an egg hunt that is not just for kids, and there will be some kids here, they claim next Sunday, but it's for all of us. And it's an opportunity to have just some fun after the service. We'll have some muffins and sweets and coffee to get you carried over to wherever the Easter meal is in the afternoon, so you won't leave absolutely starving and whatnot. But we want everyone just to stick around long enough to have a young and old shared time together. And that's going to be happening next Sunday. Audrey asked me how many people I would anticipate, and I think big. I said, I think we can get 20, 25 people participating. And if you're thinking, why would I get involved in an egg hunt at this time in my life? Check it out. It's going to be worth it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of smiles. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of laughter before it's all over, and it's going to produce some lasting memories. And you know, we can't create a lot of things in life, but we sure can create great memories. So I'm asking you to join every one of us here for next Sunday for the egg hunt. Today is a potluck, and I have a few requests that I'm going to announce, not now, but at the potluck later on. So I think that's enough. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
We all know people, or maybe we are personally going through some tough times right now. Life's got a lot of darkness in it, a lot of challenge, a lot of unknowing questions through some dark times, some challenges. Nancy. Jimmy. Shannon. We heard these names. Let's go inside and direct our divine light, our love and acceptance out into the ethers where it knows where to go, knows where the light is needed. Let's send it on its way this morning. And we trust Spirit to provide light wherever it is needed in this universe. And so it is. David was referring to it. Dick was referring to it. We can't take a step without hearing about it. The chaos in our world, and the fear, the anxiety. Let's stand up and sing number, I think it's 206 in the Wings of Song. This is my song. It's just sing the first and second verses, please. Now we have that wonderful opportunity to greet each other in the 118-year-old tradition of Church of the Oaks. Good boy.
Yeah. Church of the Oaks, YouTube. Well, he's trying to teach me via this.
Well, you look like you're on it.
Well, I'm not that computer savvy, and there's a lot to this. This is something my son and my grandson should
I want to keep it short and sweet about abundance today. Look around. You're looking at the most magnificent abundance that life has to offer, and that's each other. May we please read together the affirmation of abundance. When we transform abundance and prosperity from a perception to a consciousness, our lives will be enriched beyond any definition of tangible value. We will be that abundance and prosperity. May we ponder that wisdom, sir. Thank you, Wayne. As we prepare ourselves for our time of meditation this morning, let's sing together in the stillness of the silence, number 97 in the Wings of Song.
I am healed.
For this meditation, I suggest that you close your eyes and imagine a place where the chatter of your mind is not welcome, where you can feel tranquility. Perhaps it's a spot in the forest, or floating in calm water, or simply relaxing in your favorite chair. Whatever place you imagine, feel comfort, feel the quiet. As you settle in, take slow, deep breaths. On the inhale, envision tiny white lights filling every cell of your body, restoring you and the gentle energy that flows through you. On the exhale, send out that light to all of life on earth and earth itself. Inhaling the light for yourself, exhaling for all of life, the earth. So let's begin with slow, deep breaths and envisions of light filling you throughout your body. As we end this meditation, feel that light of love surrounding you and protecting you, and so it is.
Thank you, Kelly. You know, I don't think there's a person in this room that hasn't dealt with that dark place that David was talking about, or this, I call it a struggle that we have in our lives. It's ongoing throughout our lives. All of us struggle with different things. And some of us might think that it's a curse or one of the awful things in life. Oh, I think it's quite different than that. I think it is one of those growing tools. I'll try to explain that as we go forward. As a young man, I was trained, conditioned, and encouraged to become a Methodist minister. When it got down to making a decision, I chose not to. When I began my journey here at Church of the Oaks and started speaking, I had struggles almost every week. I struggled with all of that training and all of that conditioning and the wisdom that I learned during that process. I use it every day of my life. But a lot of the dogma, a lot of the traditions, I struggled with every Sunday. And then one day, it just dawned on me, I think at Vivian's encouragement, why do you insist on taking that stuff and giving it energy to fight yourself with? Let it go. Just let it be. You don't have to give it energy to fight with yourself and struggle with yourself about it. Just let it go. That took a while for me to actually stare at straight away and let it go. And I still find it pops up once in a while. A little struggle pops up. I get a little feisty about it. Dick will let you know about that. He and I discuss sometimes. Another thing that gives me struggle sometimes is I struggle between whim and wisdom. Guys, I'd like to drive out to the coast this afternoon, but the lawn's not going to mow itself, is it? Yeah. Oh, I mean, what could be wrong with a banana split? I mean, what could possibly, that's one of those creations of Mother Earth, is it not? What could possibly be wrong with even 2 banana splits? But deep down, we know better. We know the truth. And some people, myself included, I'm just talking from what I know, I have struggled with myself, with relationships, with these long habits, life habits and stuff. I have struggled and struggled and brought myself so much pain. Anybody else? Am I the only one? Anybody else do that? Well, I'm going to give you a new name for that pain. You still use pain because we like to say we're in pain. We just love saying that for some reason. Why don't we call it, we're having labor pains because ourselves are giving birth to maybe new life choices, new ideas, new experiences. And yeah, it's a struggle, beating down the old habits and the old must, shoulds, and oughts. Where something new is going to be born again within us. We're giving birth to new possibilities, brand new. How many times have we heard other people and me say, well, take a step out of the box. Take a step out of your comfort zone. Well, I'm going to ask a question of you today. Just how much struggle do you think you'd have to do to just throw away the darn box? Just throw the whole box away and just take every day as it comes and try to leave all the old conditionings and all the old habits and all the old ideas about. Let it go. Just throw the box away. If you're like taking a step out of the box is like trying to go on swimming and with one foot left on the bank. You're still tied to it. Just throw it away. Just have a, you know, like on the desktop on your computer, it says trash. You put stuff in there, put it up there. If you ever need it, you can go there and get it if you really need it. But if you throw it in the trash bin and look at it as a trash bin, maybe it's something you ought to put in the trash up there. Maybe it's one of those boxes you ought to just throw in the trash. Each one of us has periods of struggle in our lives. That's the way the book is written. We're supposed to, or we just sit there and get old and be stupid and bored. These struggles are our growing pains. These struggles are our labor pains, bringing about new experience, new wisdom, new feelings, new friends. So embrace your struggles. Examine them. What is the struggle? What is the positive, negative here? Maybe you'll find that you're giving something energy, like I did my Methodism training. Maybe I'm giving it energy that just causes me pain, causes me struggle. I don't have to. And I'll bet each one of us has those little things that we struggle with from time to time that are brought about simply because we're giving something antique and old and no longer serving us well, energy, to fight with ourselves. Something to kick around, something to think about. Just another few ideas. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, there's more stuff we can think about. I've forgotten what our last song is. I'm going to have to look. If we can throw away some of these boxes, get past some of these struggles and must, shoulds, and oughts and old habits that don't really work anymore, we might just wake up and say, I am free, I'm unlimited. And I'm going to ask you to sing this song just like you have no more struggles and all you see is open road, blue skies, and breeze at your back. So let's stand up and sing, I am free, I am unlimited, like we really feel it and mean it.